Hi, and welcome back to TV Central on CIB24.com. We're the show that keeps you in the know about all things TV, and today we're going to take a look at late night talk shows. The two shows getting the most media attention these days are The Tonight Show and Late Night with Jimmy Fallon. Why? Because come February, there's going to be a little round of musical chairs. With just 5 years under its belt, Late Night with Jimmy Fallon has quickly become a top contender in late night TV. When Fallon first took the reins back in March 2009, he became the third comedian to host Late Night, following in the footsteps of Conan O'Brien and David Letterman before him. The former SNL member and on-again, off-again movie star had a bit of a rocky start, but it didn't take him long to find his feet. His comedic roots, no doubt, have played a part in the show's success, since Fallon has never failed to entertain with skits, singing and dancing competitions, and creating platforms for up-and-coming comedians to excel too. But speaking of roots, the house band on the show is the hip-hop neo-soul band The Roots.
The thank you notes. Over the years, I've thanked everyone from LeBron James to Honey Boo Boo to pleated jean shorts. Here's some of our favorites.
Arguably the best house band late night TV has seen in years, The Roots definitely contribute to the success of the show as well. Segments like thank you notes, late night hashtags, and pros and cons are audience favorites that happen on a weekly basis, while other sketches like ill and bothered come up less often, but usually involve celebrity guest appearances and always entertain.
Hi everyone, welcome to Ill. I'm Sarah. If you're wondering, that's S-A-R-A with no H, because H's are ill.
Since 2010, the show has been nominated for 6 Emmys, including Outstanding Variety Music or Comedy Series, Outstanding Writing for a Variety Music or Comedy Series, and Outstanding Variety Series. While it's never actually won any of these titles, I'm sure Jimmy Fallon would be the first to tell you it was an honor just to be nominated. Needless to say, the show is a massive hit. So last year, when it was announced that Jimmy Fallon was moving to The Tonight Show to take the coveted chair that Jay Leno has sat in since 1992, the question arose, who would take over Late Night? And the answer? Seth Meyers. Most people know Seth Meyers from his 12-season stint on SNL, which will be concluding shortly before his late night debut. As an SNL cast member, he's also been in his fair share of comedy movies, including Nick and Nora's Infinite Playlist and Gary Marshall's New Year's Eve. As of a few years ago, he became SNL's lead writer and hosts the Weekend Update every Saturday night. In fact, Meyers' career almost looks like a duplicate of Fallon's, as Fallon hosted Weekend Update from 2000 to 2004, before having a brief go at making movies and then finally having Late Night fall into his lap. But that's not to say that they're going to bring both of the same things to the table. Meyers has already told the media that he plans to mix Late Night up a bit. The way he put it is no singing and more sketches. However, in true late night tradition, Seth Meyers' first guest is set to be his former SNL Weekend Update co-host, Amy Poehler. While Jimmy Fallon's first guest was Robert De Niro, Tina Fey followed closely behind on the second episode. Of course, like Meyers and Poehler, Tina Fey and Jimmy Fallon were once co-hosts of Weekend Update together too, bringing it all full circle. Late Night with Seth Meyers definitely won't be the same show that we've grown to love over the past 5 years with Jimmy Fallon, but with Seth Meyers in the seat, it will definitely keep people watching. As Amy Poehler put it, he enjoys bringing out the best in people. She says that Meyers will be a natural when it comes to interviewing actors, authors, politicians, and other celebs. And Amy Poehler usually knows what she's talking about, especially when it comes to comedy. Going on 60 years old, The Tonight Show first aired in 1954 and was hosted by Steve Allen. Back then, the show was actually called Tonight with Steve Allen and was filmed at a studio in New York City. Steve Allen was replaced by Jack Paar in 1957, and after Jack came Johnny Carson in 1962. Carson enjoyed 30 seasons of hosting the show. Throughout these seasons, the name was officially changed to The Tonight Show, and filming was moved down to California. When Carson finally retired, of his own free will, I might add, Jay Leno came in to replace him and has been on ever since. Except, of course, for a 7-month period back in 2009, when Jay Leno was apparently forced off the show by NBC producers to make way for Conan O'Brien. And that's where The Tonight Show's history gets a little tarnished. It's old news now, but you still may hear a few jabs from various comedians now and then. So here's the story. Even though Leno was always having the upper hand when it came to ratings, the story goes that NBC wanted to boot him out in favor of Conan, so they did just that. Of course, since Jay Leno is Jay Leno, he landed on his feet with a primetime talk show that aired right before The Tonight Show. The thing that NBC didn't see coming was that neither show, Jay Leno's new talk show and The Tonight Show with Conan O'Brien, did that well. In fact, both shows saw pretty dismal ratings, comparatively speaking. So the men in suits at NBC thought the best way to solve that problem was to move the time slots of both shows, making Jay Leno's talk show air at 11:35, his old Tonight Show time slot, and Conan O'Brien would be moved to 12:05 a.m. for a show called The Tonight Show. Needless to say, that didn't fly too well with Conan. After all, in essence, they were pretty much shafting him. So long story short, Conan was offered an ultimatum. Take the new time slot or leave The Tonight Show, and Conan up and left. In fact, he left NBC altogether after working with the network for over 20 years. So it was kind of a big deal. Anyway, Leno came back, now a little less honorable in some people's books, but the ratings made NBC execs happy again, so it seemed the world was back as it should be. Conan, a little scorned and a little bitter, was just as funny as always and went over to TBS to host his own show, Conan. Fast forward to April 2013, and NBC was announcing Jay Leno's retirement from The Tonight Show to be replaced by America's sweetheart, Jimmy Fallon. While there were more than a few skeptical articles in circulation questioning whether Leno really was going for good, it looks like he's going on his own terms this time around, so Jimmy Fallon should be pretty safe. So, what will Jimmy Fallon be bringing to The Tonight Show? Well, for starters, he's bringing his band, The Roots, and SNL's Lorne Michaels to be the executive producer of the show. And he's bringing the show itself back to New York City, and the very studio where it was first filmed. Fallon has also stated that he will not be copying Jay Leno's style or segments when he takes the chair on The Tonight Show. In fact, fans of Late Night with Jimmy Fallon will be happy to know that as far as Jimmy is concerned, he's moved to an earlier time and gotten fancier furniture, but otherwise he plans to continue sticking to what he's good at: sketches, impressions, and, as he put it, musical stuff. So keep an eye out, because February 17th is the night Jimmy Fallon hosts his first Tonight Show on NBC. And a few days later, on February 24th, you'll be able to catch the very first episode of Late Night with Seth Meyers. And that's all for today's episode of TV Central. Be sure to check back often for more episodes on CIB24.com. Like us on Facebook and follow us on Twitter. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel below. For TV Central, I'm Larissa. Thanks for watching.